Good afternoon, everyone. Today I am going to talk about respiratory system, a vital organ system that allows and breathing and sustains life. Every cell in the body required to the oxygen produced by the energy removal of carbon dioxide and waste product. The respiratory system is responsible for this gas exchange, helpful and maintain the proper oxygen level and pH balance of blood. The respiratory system works continuously even when we are asleep. Ensure every tissue and the body receive oxygen need without the life and only us to the few a minute. Anatomy of respiratory system. Respiratory system consists of the upper respiratory tract and lower respiratory tract. Upper respiratory tract include nose, nasal cavity, pharynx. The nose filter run and humidate the air. The pharynx survive passage away of both food and air. Lower respiratory system include larynx, bronchia, bronchus and lungs. The pharynx protects and prevent food and enter into airway. The trachea flexible and carry air into the bronchia. The bronchia are divided into the small bronchioles and end clutches of alveoli. Lungs are the main organs of a respiratory, with the right lungs having 3 lobes and left lungs having 2 lobes. Alveoli. They are as microscopic and surrounded by the capillary where the gas exchange takes place. Physiology of breathing. Breathing consists into two phases, inhalation and exhalation. Inhalation, the diaphragm continues to move downward and intercostal muscle expand to the rib cage and negative pressure draw into the lungs. Exhalation. The diaphragm relax and move upward to the lungs record pushing of air out. Gases exchange mechanism. Gases exchange occur ovary through the diffusion. Oxygen for the ovary. Diffusion blood capillaries because and concentration in a high of alveoli. Carbon dioxide is a form of the blood into the ovary. Excretion and concentration of high in the blood. Hemoglobin of the blood bind with oxygen to the transfer it's through the body, while carbon dioxide is a mainly carried and bicarbonate ion. Regulatory of breathing. Breathing are involved to the respiratory center and brainstem, medulla oblongata and sperm. The main factors are regulatory breathing, the level of oxygen bicarbonate, oxygen bicarbonate in the body, blood. Chemorespiratory detect CO2 level is adjust and tap into the breathing and automatically. Emotional exercise and voluntary control and also infusion of a breathing patient. Lungs volume is capillary. Tidal volume, inspiratory reserve volume, expiratory reserve volume, tidal capacity, total lungs capacity. First, tidal volume. Air inhales and exhales in normal breathing 500 ml. Inspire, inspiratory reserve volume. Extra air inhales after the normal expiration. Expiratory reserve volume. Extra air in exhale. In air normal expiration. Residual volume. Air remains in lungs after the maximum expiration. Vital capacity. Maximum amount of inhales after deep inhalation. Total lungs capacity. Total volume of lungs. Defense mechanism of a respiratory system. Nasal air mucosa tract deep into the microbes. Cilia and trap particles towards through swallowing and expel. Cough, sieving and reflect remove irritation. Disorder of respiratory system. Asthma, narrowing of airway causing vision and breathlessness. Chronic oblongata pulmonary disease. CODP include inflammation and bronchial pneumonia, inflammation causing no, sorry infection causing inflammation of ovary, tuberculosis, bacterial infection affect the lungs cancer, uncontrolled cell growth of the lungs, importance of respiratory system, supplying oxygen and energy production, remove carbon dioxide, prevent toxicity, maintain acid-base balance, inhalable speech and inhalable speech and sense of smell. Thank you.